Donald Trump enters a secret headquarters. What he finds is a shock to everyone. So what did he find and what put him in this state? If you liked the story, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Washington, D.C. The atmosphere inside the Capitol Grand Arena was electric. Thousands of supporters cheered as President Donald J. Trump stepped onto the stage. The massive LED screen behind him displayed the slogan, "America Prevails." The speech was meant to be a turning point, a declaration of resilience in the face of political turmoil and global uncertainties. Then, in an instant, the world shifted. A sharp, deafening crack split the air. A gunshot. Panic spread like wildfire. The crowd screamed as Secret Service agents surged forward, their instincts kicking in. But before anyone could react, something strange happened. A lone figure darted across the stage, a man in a standard black suit, moving with inhuman speed and precision, tackled Trump to the ground just as another shot rang out. The bullet embedded itself in the bulletproof podium, missing its target by mere inches. The unknown agent rolled, his weapon drawn, scanning the upper balconies. Then, with a single shot, he neutralized the unseen sniper. Before anyone could make sense of the chaos, the agent vanished into the sea of scrambling security personnel. By the time Trump was rushed off stage to safety, the only thing left of his mysterious savior was a single spent shell casing on the floor. The White House Situation Room buzzed with frantic energy. The president sat at the head of the long conference table, his face a mask of barely controlled frustration. Around him, top advisors, intelligence officers, and military personnel reviewed the footage of the attack. "Who the hell was that?" Trump demanded, pointing at the screen where the unidentified agent saved his life. Secret Service Director Kenneth Graves shifted uncomfortably. "Mr. President, we've gone through our personnel records multiple times. That agent isn't one of ours. He doesn't exist." Trump narrowed his eyes. "What do you mean, doesn't exist?" "He was there." He took down the shooter. "Someone give me a name." CIA Director Evelyn Carter cleared her throat. "We've checked biometric scans, facial recognition, even DNA traces from the scene. It's as if this man was a ghost. No official records, no agency affiliation. Nothing." Trump's fingers drummed against the table. "Then find him. He saved my life. I want answers." Hours turned into days. The investigation hit dead end after dead end. Every piece of footage of the agent had been tampered with, faces blurred, timestamps altered. A deeper dig into classified government files revealed something disturbing. A series of erased names, entire personnel logs redacted beyond recognition. Someone had gone to extreme lengths to ensure that this agent remained a mystery. Then, one night, a note arrived in the Oval Office. It was slipped under the door, handwritten on old parchment. "Stop searching. The truth will destroy everything." Trump held the note, his jaw tightening. This just got interesting. Ignoring the warning, Trump escalated the investigation. Private intelligence firms were hired to dig deeper. Then, finally, a lead emerged. An old, forgotten CIA file, buried under layers of classified encryption, revealed a code name, Spectre. A former Black Ops agent officially declared dead over a decade ago. But one detail stood out. Spectre was known for doing one thing exceptionally well: protecting high-value assets under deep cover. Was it possible he had come out of hiding to protect Trump? Trump ordered an immediate inquiry, but within hours, the agents assigned to the case began disappearing. First, a lead investigator was found dead in his car, an apparent heart attack. Then, a cybersecurity analyst vanished without a trace. One by one, the pieces of the puzzle were being erased before they could be put together. Someone was cleaning up the trail. Trump found himself alone in his study that night, staring at a collection of scattered files. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. He hesitated before answering. "Who is this?" A distorted voice came through. "Mr. President, if you keep looking, they will come for you." "Who?" Trump pressed. "The ones who erased him. The ones who control more than you realize. Spectre was never meant to be found." "Why did he save me?" Trump asked. A long silence. Then the voice whispered, "Because he owed you. But that debt is paid. Forget this ever happened, or you will be next." The line went dead. Trump knew he had a choice. Bury the investigation, pretend none of this had happened, or push forward and risk everything. But if there was one thing he never did, it was back down from a fight. The next morning, he called a secret meeting with his most trusted allies. "We're going off the books," he declared. "No more bureaucratic red tape. We're finding him, and we're finding out what the hell is really going on." As his team set their plan in motion, Trump couldn't shake the feeling that something much bigger was at play, that he had only scratched the surface of a much darker truth. And as he looked out the window of the Oval Office, he had the eerie sensation that somewhere, in the shadows, someone was watching. He had no idea just how deep the rabbit hole went. The closer he got, the more dangerous it would become. He wasn't just dealing with a cover-up. He was up against a force that had rewritten history before and would do it again to keep their secrets buried. The next clue would come in the form of a package, one that held the key to everything. But the moment he opened it, he would become a target in a war that had been waged in the dark for decades. And this time, there would be no turning back. The package sat on the Resolute desk, wrapped in plain brown paper, no markings, no return address. The moment Trump's fingers brushed against it, a strange unease settled in his chest. The Secret Service had already swept it for explosives and biological agents. Clean. Yet something about it felt wrong. He unwrapped it carefully. Inside was a single black folder. No insignia, no labels. Opening it, he found a photograph. A grainy image of a man standing in a shadowed alley, his face barely visible. Beneath it, a note. "You are not supposed to remember him." Trump's mind raced. Who was trying to manipulate him? He flipped the photo over. A date was scribbled on the back. March 11th, 2009. His blood ran cold. That was the exact day he had survived a private jet malfunction. A mechanical failure at 40,000 feet, one that should have sent the aircraft plummeting into the Atlantic. But a single engineer on board had overridden the system, preventing the crash. A man he barely remembered. A man whose name he had forgotten. Could this be him? The room suddenly felt smaller. He glanced around, the walls seeming to close in. Then his office phone rang. A static-filled silence. Then a voice. "Mr. President, you need to stop." Trump gripped the receiver. "Who are you?" "The last warning you'll ever get. Walk away, or they will erase you too." "I don't take threats." "Who erased him? What do they want?" A faint breath on the other end. Then, "You think you're the most powerful man in the world? You're not even close." The line went dead. Trump slammed the phone down, anger boiling. "Get me Carter and Graves, now." Within minutes, CIA Director Evelyn Carter and Secret Service Director Kenneth Graves were in the Oval Office. "Someone left this on my desk," Trump growled, tossing them the folder. Carter paled as she scanned the note. "Mr. President, this is above us. This is something we were never meant to see." "What do you mean?" Graves leaned forward. "Spectre was part of a program we don't officially acknowledge. Ultra-classified. Deep cover operations outside of presidential oversight, the kind of missions even we aren't privy to. Then who the hell is running it? Carter exhaled slowly. We don't know. It's been compartmentalized so deeply, even the CIA has no access. But there's a name we've heard whispered in the darkest intelligence circles. Trump arched a brow. And that name is? She hesitated. Then, finally, the Dominion Initiative. A silence fell over the room, thick and suffocating. Trump had heard that name before, buried in conspiracy theories, whispered in the corridors of old money and power. A hidden force rumored to operate above governments, controlling outcomes before they happened. A cabal that could alter history itself. You're telling me this initiative had Spectre erased? Why? Graves set the folder down. Because he knew something so dangerous they couldn't let him live. Trump leaned back in his chair, processing. Then he made his decision. We find Spectre. Carter shook her head. If he's alive. If he's alive, Trump repeated. We bring him in. Off the books. I don't care what it takes. That night, a message pinged on his private line. Anonymous, untraceable, a single sentence. I never wanted you to remember me. And attached, a location. Athens, Greece. Trump knew one thing. He was going after him. Even if it meant stepping into the shadows where true power lived. Even if it meant uncovering a secret that could shatter everything. He was in deeper than he had ever been. And this time, there was no turning back. The private jet cut through the darkened skies over Europe, its trajectory locked onto Athens. Trump sat in the dimly lit cabin, staring at the coordinates on his tablet. Spectre was here. Or at least, he had been. But was it a meeting? A trap? A warning? His security detail had argued against coming. Secret Service had practically begged him to stay in the White House. But Trump had made up his mind. He was done waiting. His phone vibrated. A message from an unknown number. You're being watched. The moment you land, they'll know. Trump frowned, his fingers tightening around the device. Who the hell is they? He muttered to himself. He sent a reply. Who are you? The response came instantly. The only one trying to keep you alive. He glanced out the window at the sea of city lights below. Athens loomed ahead, ancient and shrouded in secrets. The moment they landed, things felt off. A motorcade was waiting, but the driver wasn't one of his usual men. Trump signaled his lead agent, a burly former Navy SEAL named Riker, to verify security. Riker approached the driver and spoke briefly before returning. Sir, he claims he was sent by a contact who wishes to remain anonymous. Says you were expected. Trump nodded. Then let's not keep them waiting. The drive through Athens was tense. Narrow streets wound through old districts, shadows stretching ominously in the neon glow of distant signs. The car finally pulled into an underground parking structure beneath an abandoned warehouse. The driver exited without a word and disappeared into the darkness. Sir, this is a setup, Riker whispered. Probably, Trump admitted, but we're here. Let's see how this plays out. The doors to the warehouse groaned open, revealing a cavernous, dimly lit space. A single figure stood in the center, waiting. He stepped forward. A man in his late 40s, lean, his face weathered but sharp, his eyes calculating. And familiar. Spectre. You should have stayed away, the man said. Trump crossed his arms. I don't like being told what to do, and I don't like unanswered questions. You saved my life, then vanished. I need to know why. Spectre sighed. Because you weren't supposed to survive. A chill ran through the room. Riker tensed. What the hell does that mean? Trump asked. Spectre paced. You think this was a simple assassination attempt? Number it was a test. They were measuring something, your response, your influence, and most of all, who would intervene. They? The Dominion Initiative? Spectre nodded. They don't operate like a government. They think like gods. They don't kill unless it serves a purpose. And they don't let anyone walk away from their plans, not even you. Trump's mind reeled. So why did you stop it? Spectre hesitated. Because I owe you. For what? Spectre exhaled sharply. Because 20 years ago, you unknowingly saved my life, and this was my way of repaying the debt. Before Trump could respond, an explosion rocked the building. The shockwave sent debris flying as armed men swarmed in through every entrance, black-clad, ruthless. Move! Spectre shouted, grabbing Trump's arm and shoving him behind cover. Gunfire erupted. Riker and the other agents fought back, but they were outnumbered. Spectre moved like a ghost, his shots precise, his movements almost inhumanly fast. Then, a voice echoed through the chaos. You should have left this alone, Mr. President. A woman stepped into view, flanked by 2 operatives. Unlike the masked gunman, she wore a pristine suit, her presence radiating control. Carter? Trump stared in disbelief. You work for them. The CIA director smirked. Did you really think you ran the country? Trump's fists clenched. So, what now? You kill me? Make it look like an accident? Carter shook her head. Killing you would be easy. But that's not the plan. You'll come with us. You'll learn the truth. And then you'll have a choice. Either you join us, or you disappear like Spectre. Spectre's jaw tightened. You won't get that chance. With lightning speed, he pulled a small detonator from his belt and pressed it. A second explosion erupted beneath the warehouse, causing the entire foundation to tremble. The ceiling groaned, chunks of concrete collapsing as fire and smoke filled the air. Move! Spectre shouted, dragging Trump toward an exit. Carter's men opened fire, but the structure was already caving in. In the chaos, Spectre shoved Trump into a hidden tunnel, sealing the entrance behind them as the warehouse above crumbled into oblivion. For several breathless moments, there was only darkness. Then Spectre's voice cut through the silence. This isn't over. But if you want to survive, you need to let the world think you're dead. Trump's heart pounded. And if I don't? Spectre's expression was grim. Then the Dominion Initiative will finish what they started. And this time, I won't be there to stop them. Trump exhaled slowly. He had come looking for answers. What he found was something far bigger than he had ever imagined. And now he had a choice to make. But one thing was certain. This war was just beginning. Trump and Spectre emerged into a dimly lit underground chamber. The air was damp, thick with the scent of earth and something ancient. Flickering torches lined the stone walls. Where are we? Trump asked. An old escape route, Spectre said. But it's more than that. This place holds secrets even the Initiative doesn't know. And we need them if we're going to survive. Trump looked around, his instincts sharpened. Then let's find out what's buried here. But as they took their first step forward, the walls groaned, and a deep voice echoed from the darkness. You shouldn't have come here. A shadowed figure stepped into view, eyes burning with knowledge and warning. The real game had just begun.